Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have a very simple and straightforward message for all my Yoruba brothers and sisters, as the case may be. The elections in Nigeria have come and gone, even though the battles are still regional. With everything that happened with the elections, one thing that stood out is the tribal war that is going on right now, that the Yorubas are projecting so much against the Igbos. I don't know if when they talk about the Igbos, if they mean only the people that speak Igbo or everyone else who does not look like Yoruba, because I see that during the elections there were instances or reports of some people who were actually attacked who are not from the Igbo speaking part of Nigeria. So to them, they know who they categorize as Igbos. But I have a very clear message for these people who are doing this thing. Very clear message. First of all, I want to say something here that I believe strongly in my heart. I know, not just that I believe, I know it. That there are so many well-meaning Yorubas, so many intelligent Yorubas, so many civilized Yorubas, so many people who are, who are against what is going on. I know that whatever that is happening right now, you can just handpick very few, minute number of people who are actually doing it. They attacked the Igbos before the election. They spoke, they intimidated them, they threatened them, they did a lot of things before both the presidential and the gubernatorial election. During the elections, they went ahead and they still also attacked the Igbos. They attacked them. In fact, before the gubernatorial election, a market in Olodiapapa area that was predominantly a market for the Igbos was burnt down. People's businesses were burned down. In the course of the whole thing, somebody lost his life. This was perpetrated by some people, some Agberos, we know them. People that are called Agberos, the street people on the land, whether they were sent by people in the high places or they chose to go do these things. That is what we might get to know at some point. But the truth about it is this: after the elections, they also went ahead and started attacking the Igbos. Just yesterday, I saw in the news that some Igbos in the Ojo area of Lagos State, they went out on Sunday to protest because these people still continued. At this point, I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know that you've heard all these rhetorics about, the Igbos should go back to where they are coming from. They need to leave Lagos. Lagos belongs to us. And the unfortunate thing is that it's not just some of these Agberos, the ones that we see on the street that does these things. It is so unfortunate that even the people you think that you can respect, you think that they're the voice of reason, that should have the voice of reason, the ones that you think that should have the maturity to speak against all those things, some of them are still coming on Twitter. The likes of Bayan Adenoga, the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode, they are still going on Twitter to project these things. And then, now, the whole thing has gone beyond, intimidating about results, taking ballot boxes, rigging elections. It has gone beyond that. It has gotten to the point where they threaten the Igbos. They go to house to house, they collect their possessions. They see somebody that's an Igbo on the road, they stop you, collect your possession, collect your phone, collect your money. They've been attacking the Igbos. I just have one thing I want to tell these people. One of the things I want to tell you people that are doing this thing is this. Listen, you must understand that there is a limit to what somebody can take. There's a limit to what somebody can take. The Igbos are calling for peace. We hope, if you are the Agberos are the ones who just came up on themselves to do what they're doing, it's important you stop. If somebody is somewhere telling you to go to do what you do, whoever that person is, please stop. The Igbos, in the recence of it, they have come in Yoruba land, or in Lagos State to be precise. They have built, in the recence of it, when you check the economy of Lagos State, Igbos may be contributing almost 70, if not more than 70% of the revenue of Lagos State. Because when you go around the Lagos State, most of the big markets that generate revenues for Lagos State are owned by the Igbos. The Igbos are predominant in them. And I want to tell you also something that most of you may not know. If you keep clamoring for the Igbos to go, maybe at some point they might. But let me tell you people something. Those things that the Igbos will leave behind, if you eventually kick them out of Lagos, you may not be able to possess them. Because there is another group of people that will eventually take that thing, and so fiercely, more than you think that the Igbos have taken. And that people are the Lebanese and the Chinese. Watch it. It is unfortunate that people are doing these things without knowing the repercussion, without thinking of tomorrow. What could this cost tomorrow? Maybe you're wherever you are, eyeing the mansions of the Igbos, looking at their businesses. Oh, when they leave, I'm going to take this up. The truth about it is that you, the Agberos, who this was on the street who are doing these things, if the Igbos happen to leave Lagos today, you cannot lay your hands on any of those things. You cannot. Because those people who are using you to perpetrate all these things, they're the ones in power that will make sure that your hands don't get to all those things. You know why? Because they have seen you and they know that you are not capable of managing. You are not capable of managing a little as tiny as 100,000. If not, why is it that it's only during a time like this that they pay you peanuts? You come out and do all these things, and you remain in your poverty. The next 4 years, they come out again and they still use you to do all these things. Look at all of them. Look at where their families are. You people are dancing around the likes of MC Oluomo. Where is MC Oluomo? Have you asked yourself, where is MC Oluomo's family? After the presidential election, I think there are 2 days after the presidential election, MC Oluomo flew into Atlanta, Georgia, bragging how they have been able to install Jagaban, getting ready to come back to install Sanwo-Olu. He came back. He used you people. He did the same thing. Few days after, he jumped back again to Atlanta, Georgia. That is where he finds peace. That is where his family are. That is where he comes to enjoy and to cool off. At the end of the day, what do you stand to gain? And you want to tell me that if the Igbos leave their millions in Lagos State, that someone like MC Oluomo will let you touch it? That is not true. It's not happening. And I want to tell you something else also. You people need to understand that your real enemies are not that the Igbo man that you're attacking. Your real enemies are the politicians, the ones who are using you to perpetrate all these things. Because it is whatever they are doing, whatever they are achieving, whatever they want to do, it's not about you. It is about them. Have you asked yourself, why is it that, like I say it again, that their families are not in Nigeria? That their families are kept in civilized societies where they are free, where they are fair, where they are protected? Have you asked yourself that question? It is unfortunate that you have failed to recognize that your enemy, the pre person that you need to be fighting, is not that man next, it's not that Igbo man next door to you. That the real people you are supposed to be fighting are the people that have kept you in perpetual poverty. The bad road in Lagos affects everybody, both the rich and the poor, both the Igbos and the non-Igbos. The lack of electricity in Lagos affects everybody, both the Igbos and the non-Igbos. The high cost of food in Lagos State affects everybody, both the Igbos and the non-Igbos. But all these things I have mentioned, all these people, they have it easy. You don't have them easy. Those Igbo people you're attacking don't have them easy. But the ones who are using you, they get them easily. Why is it that you're not enjoying what they're enjoying? It is so unfortunate. For you, my Yoruba brothers, for you, these Agberos that are on the street doing all these things, you are not attacking the Igbos, so you're not. You are hurting yourselves. You are hurting yourself, and that is the reality of it. You are hurting yourselves. Because if the Igbos happens to do your bidding by living, that is when you realize that the thing you think you're fighting for yourself, you're not actually fighting it for yourself. The earlier you put desist from what you're doing, the better. The earlier you stop what you're doing, the better. Because the truth about it is that everybody in Nigeria is clamoring for good governance. The people that have kept us where we are, the people that make you be on the street, because if you have something good doing, you will not be on the street doing what you're doing. If you have a good job, if you're making money the way you ought to be, you will not be on the street doing what you're doing. Ask yourself, who kept me on the street? Who put me in the situation that makes me do what I'm doing? It is the politicians. It's not that Igbo man you are attacking. It is so unfortunate. This is once again a call for peace. We the Igbos, we love peace. And that is why we are in Lagos and we are not fighting anybody. People keep crying that the Igbos are trying to take our property. Who exactly is trying to take the properties of the Igbos? I have properties in Lagos and never for one day have I claimed Lagos State as my state. But I feel comfortable in Lagos State. I have property, legally bought, legally possessed. I did not steal it from anybody. So I don't even understand where this whole thing is coming up. And that makes you to know that this is just a weapon that some people up there are trying to use to destabilize you, to distract you people, and they keep making from you. It is important for us to understand that the man you're fighting is not your problem. And if you eventually get what you want, if the Igbos eventually leave their businesses and their mansions to live, your hands will not get to it. Because the people who are using you, then they will remind you that you're not even qualified to live in such a mansion. A word is good for the wise. A word is enough for the wise. People need to stop. It is not helping you. It is not helping the Igbos, and it is not helping Lagos State. That is all I have to say. Thank you, and remember.